Hey, what's up, guys? Here I am again with another quick tutorial. This is Eric Morales from Eric Morales Photography here in Melbourne, Florida. And I just wanted to show you this quick tutorial because this is something that I figured out earlier when I took a picture of my granddaughter. And I just wanted to share this with you guys real quick. Okay, so here we are with the picture. This is a picture, when I shot this, I shot it in RAW. And I already, tweak a few things. But most importantly, when you first bring the picture, I'll just show you. Let me just reset this image. So now it's back to its natural state. Now, the first thing that we are going to do before we even color correct it or use a eyedrop tool up here to pick a color to white balance it, we're going to go down here where it says camera calibration, and we're going to change this Adobe standard to camera neutral. Now, I don't know if you guys are unaware or aware that these profiles are actually in your camera setup, but they cannot be applied to raw images inside the camera. So we're going to apply it here. And once you do that, I don't know if you notice the color shift in some places here. And then we're gonna grab the eyedrop tool and we are going to look for a gray spot right about there. It wasn't that far. And then what you do is you just play around with your blacks, whites, shadows, and whatever else that you need to play around with. What we're gonna do, just bring the highlight down just a bit. Just add a little clarity, and then we're gonna sharpen it a little bit more, about 70%. So the blacks and everything else is looking good. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna send this image into Photoshop. And what are we gonna do in this technique? I mean, it's something pretty simple. I'm always trying to look for the easiest way, even though sometimes the easiest way is not the right way. But then, like I always say, there's no such thing as the right way. And what are we gonna do? I was just being lazy and I didn't want to go through the whole process, but practically that's just everything that I just did in Lightroom and then brought it into Photoshop, and that was it. But now what we're gonna do with this technique, we're just gonna add brightness and contrast, but we're not gonna use any of the adjustment layers. We're just gonna use the picture itself. So what we're gonna do, we're going to duplicate this layer twice, and what we're gonna do, this bottom one, we're gonna change the blend mode to screen, and the top we're gonna change it to soft light. You see, just with that, you see how nice and bright out the picture looks. And then after that, it's up to your perception. I mean, whatever you want to do. If you want it lighter, darker, I'll say about 50%, and maybe the contrast, you could just bring it down about 50, 65. But that is practically it. Pretty simple technique just to add some brightness and contrast without using any of the adjustment layers. So practically, that's before and after. And that's it. That's the only thing that you got to do. Now the picture is already has a nice bright and contrast compared to the original one. And since this is already sharpened and already white balance and everything on Lightroom, you don't have to worry about anything else. If you want to bring details to the eyes and stuff like that, well, you could do your little workflow and get it done. But I just wanted to show you this quick tip right here on how to add brightness and contrast in a very simple way without having to use any of the adjustment layers, and everything looks nice and even. I still got all my details, definition here in the hair, and I think this is a pretty easy, quick tutorial just to add some brightness and contrast without using the adjustment layers. So I hope this tutorial actually helps you with your workflow. Once again, my name is Eric Morales, and until next time, I'll see you. Now, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment below, and drop me a line on my Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Morales Photography. So, till next time, have a good night.